My parking pass stopped working the morning after I submitted a formal HR complaint, and my boss acted like he had no idea why. My name is Cassidy. The complaint I had filed was about my manager, Randall, and involved a specific incident that I had documented carefully before submitting anything. I had taken time with it, gathered my notes, organized the timeline, written it up clearly, and submitted it through the HR portal on a Wednesday evening. By Thursday morning, when I pulled into the company parking structure at my usual time, my access card was rejected at the gate. 3 times. The gate did not open. I parked on the street and walked in. When I asked the front desk to look into it, they said my parking access had been deactivated. When I asked when and by whom, they said the request had come in through facilities, but they didn't have the full record in front of them. I went directly to my manager's office and asked if he knew anything about my parking access. Randall looked at me with the expression of a person who is prepared to look confused and said he had no idea what I was talking about. I went to facilities management that same morning and asked to see the deactivation record. The facilities manager pulled it up. The request to deactivate my pass had been submitted the previous afternoon, Wednesday afternoon, a few hours after I had submitted my HR complaint. The request had been submitted by Randall. I took a photograph of the screen with the timestamp visible. I was very calm about it. The facilities manager looked slightly uncomfortable, but did not say anything beyond confirming what the record showed. I thanked him and left. Then I went back to HR, not to discuss the original complaint. I asked to speak with the HR director, not the coordinator who had received my original submission. I presented the deactivation record, the timestamp, the name of the person who had submitted it, and the HR complaint timestamp from the night before. The 2 events were 5 hours apart. I also presented my original complaint, still under investigation, to make clear what had prompted those 5 hours. What I had laid in front of the HR director was a retaliation case sitting on top of an original conduct complaint. I did not describe it that way in the room. I simply presented the sequence of events and the documentation and let her draw her conclusions. A parking pass was reinstated before I left the building that day. I received written confirmation before end of business that the access had been restored and that the matter would be reviewed. 2 weeks later, I was informed that the retaliation finding had been formally added to the file alongside my original complaint. Randall was now facing both the original conduct issue and a documented retaliation charge, which meant any outcome in the original investigation would carry additional weight. I drove into the structure the following morning without any issue. Gate opened on the first scan. Small thing. Not actually a small thing. When someone takes away something ordinary and minor as a way of communicating what they think of you, getting it back matters more than the thing itself. Randall and I continued to interact through the rest of the investigation. He was very correct, very neutral, very careful with his words. He had learned, or been coached to learn, that visible retaliation creates its own evidence. The warning had come too late for him, but it was noted. The original complaint was upheld. The outcome included a formal written reprimand and a mandatory management training program. Combined with the retaliation finding, Randall spent the following quarter being monitored closely by HR in a way that was not subtle. Sometimes what you build when you're trying to punish someone is the clearest case against yourself.